Welcome back, friends. It's Chef Mark, and today I'm reacting to deep fried turkey fails. Let's check some videos out together. Okay, whoa, huge fireball. And of course, we have one of these videos where it's a professional fire department and they're showing the dangers of deep frying a turkey. So that was clearly a frozen turkey going into hot oil. And the reason you don't want to deep fry a frozen turkey is because there's a huge ice ball inside that turkey. There's the neck and the giblets, and it's packed full of moisture when they freeze them. And they do that kind of get the weight up a little bit, so you're paying for water, but also it helps preserve the turkey. And if you ever put hot water into hot oil, it's going to splatter. Well, imagine that times 100. You're going to have a boil over and a fireball. And in this case, yeah, it lit this house on fire. So I appreciate the fire department's showing that because I think it cuts back on, oh, I'm going to deep fry a turkey this year without the knowledge of what it takes to do this safely. And this is what it's all about, is being safe when you're deep frying a turkey. And here we go. We have a gentleman dropping a turkey into a large pot of oil. And it's the classic, the pot is too full and it boils over. So when you're putting your turkey into the pot, your pot really only needs to be about halfway full of oil. The turkey is going to take up a lot of space and then it's going to boil over. It always will boil over. And part of the reason you see a lot of food that's breaded that's deep fried is because that breading actually helps hold the moisture in. It's much safer um, for the deep fry in a professional kitchen. So when you have something that's not breaded, that moisture can come spilling out, and then the moisture boils over. It hits that burner. You get a flame ball. There's no way around it. Let's see what's next here. This next one is one of my favorites. So you have a gentleman. He's slowly lowering. He's got a glove on. Got a hibachi grill. He's got some boil over, and boom, fireball. And then I love that video because you can hear his wife screaming in the background. And if that plays for a few more seconds, very clever. The thing's on wheels, and he pushes it out from under the eaves. What does that tell us? You need a lot of space. You need to be in the middle of your backyard. I wouldn't do it on concrete because that oil, if it spills over, if and when, that oil is impossible to get off of concrete. Ask me how I know. Okay, here we go. It's a wet turkey. I can see it's dripping wet. At least he's got a glove on. And get the heck out of there, buddy. There it is. There's the fireball. It spills over onto the burner. How do you put that fire out? I don't know. You would have to put a lid on it and then just wait. Turn the fuel off. Get the propane can out of there. Um, if you're being extra safe out of abundance of caution, why not have your propane can disassembled? So get the temperature up on the oil, pull your propane can off, turn the burner off, put your turkey in, get that stabilized, and then immediately kick that heat back on, out of an abundance of caution, because it's a very dangerous proposition if you get this wrong. Oh, and here we are. We're back to the gentleman pushing the flaming hibachi grill out from underneath the eave, black smoke billowing off the hibachi grill. And of course, he's getting yelled at from his wife. So that's the first and last deep fried turkey they'll ever get to experience. Well, I got a few tips here when it comes to deep frying a turkey. One, get the right oil. You want fryer oil. The big 35-gallon plastic container comes in a box and it's clearly labeled deep fry oil. That oil has got some caking agents in it and it's designed to hold that high temperature for a long time. If you're using bottles of Wesson oil, vegetable oil, or heaven forbid, extra virgin olive oil, you're at a disadvantage to start with. Secondly, make sure that your oil isn't it's not the first time you're using it. You want that oil to have some age on it. Yeah, that's right. So when you get some age on that oil's already been through a heat cycle or two. It's the moisture has been run through it a few times. Those anti-caking agents have been activated, and you're going to have a much safer experience. Your turkey's going to come out more golden brown or anything you're cooking. So yeah, do some French fries or something before you do the turkey. That's going to help you out. And how do you store the oil? Because it's a lot of oil. Um, I would figure out if you have a deep freezer. This is what you do: you put it in some plastic containers and freeze it, and it'll last. You could probably get 4 or 5 trips of deep frying with that oil, that same oil. If you just strain it, put it back into a container and freeze it over and over again. If you're deep frying all the time, then you just kind of go through it. It's also hard to get rid of. You could take the oil to like AutoZone, tell them it's motor oil, and have them throw it in with their oil recycling. That works sometimes. Ask me how I know. And then finally, we got to talk about being careful, being safe. A lot of you might not know this about me, but I was severely burned in my early 20s. I was working at a restaurant. I had a large pot fall down on me coming down a staircase, and it took all the skin off my right arm. And I was very fortunate. I didn't need skin grafts. I didn't need surgery, but I was in the hospital for 30 days. And when I see these, some of them are really hard for me to watch, and that's because I can see people, they're getting burned. And oil burn is arguably the worst kind of burn. That oil will stick to your skin and there's no washing it off. I mean, it can burn somebody down to the bone. So this is no laughing matter. I know that we're looking at it, we're being entertained by it, but quite frankly, when I watch these, they're hard to watch because I wonder just how many people ended up in the hospital and their lives have changed forever because they were joking around. I've seen videos of people doing this barefoot. I've seen videos of people with the frozen turkey exploding in their face. So I would say if you're going to think about doing a frozen turkey, research, 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 and practice on something smaller, a small chicken or something. Don't go straight for the big leagues. Ease your way into it so that you don't end up in the hospital. Well, thanks for joining me for Chef Mark Reacts to Frozen Turkey Fails. As always, make sure you subscribe, click the like button, and we appreciate you tuning in.